Hey everyone, we're back, and today we're going to be taking a look at this quest that we just got on the bulletin board.
Yep, our first quest, Training Retrieval, which will involve us going into the sewers and bringing back the contents of a chest, so we need to talk to Shara.
Let's do it. Blah, 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 blah.
Very good. It looks like you were able to see what was posted without any trouble. Checking the bulletin board is one of the most basic functions a bracer performs on their job. Checking regularly to see whether or not there are any urgent tasks which need immediate attention is also an important duty for bracers.
Man, all this talk about duty is starting to cramp my style.
Sure, there are a lot of rules to follow. There's an equal level of responsibility in the jobs themselves. I think being a bracer calls for much more than just someone with a half-hearted attitude.
I guess you're right. I'll just have to be more motivated.
Is that so? Had a change of heart, have you?
You betcha.
Well, before all that motivation sneaks off somewhere, let's get to work on your next task.
What will we be doing this time?
We'll be heading across the street to Mr. Melville's oil factory and learning about how to use its services. He has graciously taken time out of his work schedule to explain things, so make sure to be on your best behavior.
Okay.
Here is where you will learn how to use an Orbital Factory's services. At an Orbital Factory, you can modify your ordnance and synthesize support quartz in order to use the Orbital Arts. Arts have a wide range of effects and if mastered can be extremely helpful. The bracer business is a pretty risky occupation, so the guild has a long-standing relationship with these Orbital Factories. Anyway, this is about as much as I can explain. I'll leave the technical details to the expert. So, Mr. Melders, if you wouldn't mind taking over from here.
No problem. Leave everything to me. So what is it would you like to know about? Ordinance are mechanical devices which exhibit an array of effects through the installation of various types of quartz. By definition, that means that lights, airship engines, and so on are also types of ordnance. However, the ones that we'll be discussing today are battle ordnance, which enhance the user's physical abilities and make it possible to use magic. Since each ordnance is adjusted to match the owner's personal aptitude, the structures for the devices also differ for each owner. Simply put, the shape of the fixed elemental slats and lines that connect them vary. At any rate, that's the layman's explanation. In order to install quartz, you must first have an open slat. By default, the central slat is open, but the other slots must be opened in an orbital factory like this. It'll take a fair amount of setup too. EP, which is needed for magic, will also see a max increase according to the number of open slats. I recommend opening them all as soon as possible. So what is it you'd like to know about? Simply put, orbital arts are magic, which can be discharged exclusively through the use of battle ornaments. In other words, a number of peculiar effects can be produced by using the orbital energy stored within these mechanical devices. Since orbital arts can be a mouthful, they are almost universally referred to as arts. Probably ought to have been called that from the get-go. There are several types of arts, but in order to be able to use them, the corresponding quartz must first be synthesized at an orbital factory. Ordnance are also set up so that once a particular quartz is installed into a slot, you will be able to use those arts. The type of arts one can use also changes depending on the elemental value and the combination of the installed quartz. Basically, if you want to use water arts, all you have to do is install quartz with a water elemental value. In reality, ornaments are much more complex than what I've described, but I think this information should suffice for now. So, what would you like to know about? Quartz are circuits made from sepith. Quartz have a vast number of effects and raise the owner's abilities while simultaneously making it possible for them to use arts. However, you'll not be able to harness any of these effects until quartz has been installed into a slat. However, there are also fixed slats in which only a certain type of elemental quartz can be installed. This being the case, when you synthesize a new quartz, be sure to check your orbit and decide where you'll be installing it ahead of time. So, what does it like to know about? Sepith are fragments of septium which are dropped by monsters. They're divided into 7 types: earth, brown, water, blue, fire, red, wind, green, time, black, space, gold, and bronze, silver. Those all sound like Pokemon games. Sepith can be exchanged for mirror almost anywhere, but at the orbital factory can be used to synthesize quartz and to open orbit slots in which to install the synthesized quartz. So what is it I can know about? We can leave.
It looks like Mr. Melders has answered all your questions. If there's nothing else, then let's have you both try and use the services here. For that, you're going to need some silver.
Cash money.
With that amount, you two should be able to synthesize a few quartz. Now, I want you to begin by first making an elemental quartz that will work with each of your particular particular ordnance. In your case, Estelle, any elemental quartz is okay, but for you, Joshua, it has to be a time elemental quartz. Normally at the shop you will be able to exchange Sepith for Mira, but for this training you will not be able to use the service.
Learning how to talk to people. Still use that. Hey there! Looks like you two are doing well in your training. If you'd like to modify your ordnance, please select the Modify/Trade service. So let's get an action for Joshua and an HP for Estelle.
Should we pick up other ones too?
Just
Because we have the Sepith.
I guess. Maybe an attack. We could eventually. Or, yeah, defense is fun too. Low tier earth spells aren't great.
Well, yeah, but I mean, these kind of cores that we can acquire now.
Okay.
will lead to
I
better-
guess. I think green is sometimes a bit low in the. Wait, don't. Okay. It's fine.
Alright, it looks like you are able to synthesize one. Next, I want you to increase the arts you can use. Now install a quartz into your ordnance so that you can use both recovery and attack arts.
So recovery arts are more like healing spells, and attack arts are more like attack spells. And there's this little section in the book that you have just to guide you through the game that has a list of all of the spells that you can make.
If you're interested in the spells, you can look up this list online. We kind of have it more or less memorized, so it's just, we probably won't be looking at it too much, especially in video. But we'll go through basically what we'll end up having each of our characters do.
And you can access the ornament in the little ornament slot.
So you give characters these quartz, and then that determines what spells they can use. So Estelle is going to be able to use, they can both use some basic attack spells, but Estelle has some healing in addition to that, the tier spell. Joshua has a clock up, which actually allows characters to move faster in battle. You'll see how battles work
And we
pretty
call
soon.
those support spells.
Yeah. And in these games, the time ones are broken.
Alright, it looks like you got both recovery and attack arts set up. If you balance your arts out between each other like you've done here, it should make dealing with monsters much easier. Additionally, your bracer notebooks contain information about which quartz you can use to which arts. If you'd like to use more powerful arts, check out the arts and quartz check in your bracer notebooks and find something that worked for you.
Great idea.
Alright, our training here is almost finished. Last of all, I'm going to have one of you open a new slot in your ordnance. The more slots you have available to you, the broader range of choices you'll have. Since EP, which is consumed by using arts, can have its max value increased by opening slots, it would be a good idea to open them all early on. Now I want you to use the Sepith and open a slot on each of your ordnance. Go ahead and decide which slots you're going to open.
I think we should give Joshua attack because we have Estelle as a healer.
I agree.
Yeah, do it in the big line. If you look at the ordnance, actually, really quick, can you just look at... So, Joshua's ornament, everyone except the one... So you see how it's in two lines with the one at the middle of both of them?
So spells are crafted by having a certain amount of specific colors of quartz together. Like, a lot of healing spells tend to have water, earth, and space separate. Not earth. Water, air, and space separate.
That's more in zero, it's really just water and space in this one, but yeah.
Anyway, you get those by having them in the same line. So this orange line right here, if you put enough quartz in, you can get really high level spells. But this slot is not in that line. The center slot will always be contributing to both or the only line that's available.
And this matters a lot more later when you have more slots open.
This early on, it's not really that important.
But if you look at comparing Joshua and Estelle's ordnance really quick, Joshua's it has a lot more in one line than Estelle's does. Estelle's is actually split between two lines of, I believe, 3 and 4, while Joshua has a 5 and a 2.
Yeah. So Estelle's is more, well, this isn't as important right now, but Estelle's slots are more built for a support style.
Yeah, Estelle is not great. Which is rare for a protagonist.
And different quartz will give different effects, like strength up, so you can see.
Yeah, so Joshua actually will do a bit more damage with his physical attacks now, which is nice.
Good work on opening up a slot, Joshua. Since your central slot is limited to a certain elemental, it would be best to increase your ordnance numbers of open slots early on. This concludes your training here at the Orbital Factory. Now it's time to move on to what you've both been waiting for, the qualification test.
Pardon? Did you just say test?
You can't honestly tell me that you forgot about the test again, can you? Didn't I remind you just this morning?
Now that you mention it, I vaguely remember some sort of talk along those lines at the breakfast table.
Sometimes I fear for the future of the Bracer Guild and humanity. Oh well, no sense in worrying about that. Now let's head over to the testing area.
You mean like now? I don't know if I'm ready for...
How about a little yes, yapping, and a little more walking?
Joshua, help me!
Mr. Melders, Freddy, thank you for all your help. Don't mention it. Good luck with that test of yours. We'll be rooting for you.
I'm gonna remember that you left me high and dry like this, Joshua!
All your training has finally come down to this. Your qualification test will begin here. I expect to see you both use what you've learned up to this point.
Understood. What's wrong, Estelle?
Shira?
What now?
I was kinda wondering, but is there not gonna be a paper test or something?
Did Cassius drop you on your head as a child or something? You just read what it said on the bulletin board not that long ago, right?
Yeah.
And I even made you jot down what you read in your bracer notebooks, unless you forgot that too. I'm pretty sure the blog listing mentioned searching for something and retrieving an item from the sewers. Ringing any bells yet?
What a relief. Oh, divine Idios, I give thanks to thee for thy infinite grace in bestowing upon us such wonderful gifts as sewers.
So what you're really saying is that you thought it was a paper test. No wonder you were acting all crazy back at the Orbital Factory.
Oh, I can already feel the nostalgia. All those horrible days stuck in a classroom are starting to feel like grand memories indeed.
I'm really starting to wonder if we'll ever be able to graduate at all.
What's wrong with you? Why do you have to go and say something like that when I'm trying to reminisce about positive things?
Alright, that's enough jabbering, you two. This is supposed to be a test, so how about the both of you at least try to look a little anxious? Just so you know though, if you do happen to flunk these tests, you don't want to even imagine the kind of homework that I have in store for the both of you.
We'll be fine. Just tell us what you want us to do and let us loose.
Well, if you're so confident about it, then how about proving that you're not just blowing hot air with the results of your test? Anyway, as you both saw on the bulletin board, this test will be a search conducted in Rolent sewers. Your objective is to retrieve the contents of the chest which has been placed somewhere within that area. The layout of the sewers is extremely simple, so you don't need to worry about getting lost either. However, there are real, living, breathing monsters down there. So if you get careless and let down your guard, you will be sorry. Also, let me give you this before I forget.
What's this book for?
It's called the Monster Guide, and it's used to record information about the monsters and other opponents you meet. Whatever you figure out an enemy's attributes, you should make an immediate note of it in there.
Sounds pretty straightforward to me. He who controls the flow of information controls the tide of a battle, right?
That's exactly what I'm saying. You've got a good head on your shoulders, Joshua.
That's some pretty useful advice. Thanks for the tip, Shira.
We'll put it to good use.
Alrighty then, let's get pumped and knock out this test.
Let's. Don't forget though, this is an exam. We should make sure we treat it as such.
So welcome to the sewers.
There appears to be a recovery point set up over there. Let's use it if our HP and EP become low before engaging in any further battles. This game gives pretty generous healings.
That's true. And those tear bombs that we received are healing items.
It's nice because I like when RPGs
Sounds like a plan to me.
are hard, not because they have dumb respawns, but because the fights are actually fun and interesting. This game's good about that. Especially on the harder difficulties. Well,
Monsters at 12 o'clock.
be careful not to let them take advantage of your blind side.
Got it.
You can get a back attack, yeah, and it'll give you a bit of advantage.
And the best fight music ever. So yeah, we have a little attack order bar on the side.
Yeah, it's pretty similar to active time battle if you've played like Final Fantasy. Well, it's not exactly. It's like turn orders. It's not in real time. So yeah, it's teaching us how to do the basic attack, which is the most simple action you can do. Good old whack. There we go.
One monster dead.
In general, it's good to focus your damage.
I think because it's the tutorial, they're not gonna attack us.
Stealth movement sucks.
That's true. We should get her a move quartz when we can.
Yeah, I used to not like move quartz as much, but for melee people, they are quite good.
Alright, we're good to go.
You get a little XP, and you get a little bit of sepit from each monster, but the amounts and colors vary from monster to monster.
Here comes some more.
Depending on the enemy, some physical attacks may be ineffective. Let's use arts, not physical attacks.
Okay.
Yeah, anything in the air generally is really good at avoiding physical attacks.
Your arts have
Words.
perfect accuracy too. So let's use attack.
Let's use Aqua Bleed.
Yeah, Aqua Bleed, and then we can use the Soul Blur.
Or we could use Fireball.
Oh, do they have any? Oh, they don't have any elemental weakness. It's up to taste.
I like using the elemental ones.
Bam.
And you might see us speed up the game from time to time like this.
Yeah, you can speed up combat. Basic fights like this
We're good to go.
makes things go a little quicker. Oh,
Ooh,
we're gonna get a
back
back
attack.
attack. Still, let's try using crafts this time around. Since crafts have other effects besides just dealing out damage, they're worth a shot.
Roger that.
So crafts are like a special physical attack. You can access them just by going down to the craft menu.
Do you want to set up a morale?
Ooh, yes. So morale is a support craft, and Estelle's gonna give everybody a little extra strength.
And then Joshua already has boost from attack, so this should do some good damage.
Yeah, I might be able to
Wait, no,
one-shot.
no, just do a craft.
But I might be able to one.
Yo.
You're right.
I think a dual strike might one shot.
I think a dual strike with the strength I've done.
There we go.
And each craft differs from character to character,
Yeah.
and sometimes they have like cool, unique abilities that are based around who they are.
And then that S thing, I think you'll. Oh no. Oh, okay.
That's that then.
What I really love about this
Let's
game
move
is
out.
that it doesn't speed up the music when you speed up.
That is nice. If you do it on like an emulator, it
Oh,
can be.
we've got a chest.
Oh, one thing with chests, they all say something after you open them. The chest is empty. Because of you. Nice work, hero. Stewie Brave Bridge.
Oh, brave bridge.
Oh, what a surprise. Another creepy thing. I wish there were an easier way to take care of them.
One blow using an S-Craft or S-Break should do the trick for just about any enemy. The catch is, our CP has to be at least 100 to pull off one of those moves.
An S-craft or an S-break is just a further advanced craft.
Yeah, you can use them, the CP, which you build just kind of from doing things in battle. If you get to 100, you can use an S-Craft. It'll be at its most powerful if you get to 200. Oh. That was weird. Controller just moved for a second.
Yeah, I got unplugged for a second.
Oh. It wants you to.
me to S-break.
Yeah.
I probably shouldn't have S-break.
Yeah. Tactically, the S-Break is gonna definitely one-shot one of these guys. So. And the thing with S-Breaks, you can use them off of your turn. So maybe you drop.
Actually, I'm gonna heal with Estelle soon, so I'm just
Actually, attack that one and then S-Break the.
Let's do this! Alright, we're
In
good
my
to
opinion,
go.
they improved the controls a lot for the later games. But...
And Henry and I actually disagree on that. I like the old style.
Okay, we are a little low here. Let's heal outside of battle right here.
Why don't we use one of our items?
Yeah, we can do that.
Actually,
Yeah, we could conserve EP. That's fine.
yeah,
I think only Joshua needs...
I agree.
He still can make it.
So this guy is guarding a big chest.
So that's the treasure chest we're after, huh? If we made it this far, the rest is gonna be a piece of cake.
Seems like we got a little breathing room at least. Let's pay close attention to our battle order this time. There should be a number of ways to get more mileage out of our actions.
That's true. So like, here we have different little things on the side. So the little red gem is a sepith up, which means that if you kill on that turn, then you get more sepith from it.
Yeah.
And the yellow heart is a, I think,
That's HP.
Yeah, it's
it,
an
it just
HP.
corresponds to the color of the bar.
yeah, and you can really get any of the.
Uh,
Oh, I was
yeah.
gonna hit one of the guys in back
Sure.
with Estelle, and then.
Do you want to do a clock up? Okay.
Clock up actually would be really nice here. Maybe Estelle because she's the healer.
Sure. Okay, now a lot of them get a turn, but some of them are far away, so they might not attack. Birds go. Butterflies.
Okay, I'm a little worried.
Okay, yeah.
Oh, thank goodness.
So we
If
should
Joshua
probably have...
does fall here, we do have a reviving bomb.
Yeah, I'd prefer not to use it. We can use it if we have to. So one of those little...
Oh, thank
it's the
goodness
faraway
he's really
one.
far away.
Let's use an item.
I agree.
We don't want to risk... Oh, that's nice. Do you want a morale, maybe?
Oh, morale might be nice.
Come on!
Okay.
Actually, do I have a... Oh, I only have dual strike.
Dual strike can kill one of the mice, right?
One of the
Yeah.
dirty rats.
Yeah, dirty rats.
Should I take the full health? Which full health? Actually, that.
Yeah.
Oh, it's the one in back whose next turn it is.
Yeah.
I think I actually want to get the moth cluster.
Okay, when does a spell come in? Not soon enough. Or, actually, yes, soon enough. Okay, yeah, that's fine.
Just want to give her some turn advantage.
Okay. Estelle should tear Joshua, yeah.
Especially now that she's clocked up.
Joshua, can you do another dual strike?
Yeah.
We haven't used a dual strike yet. Yeah, this should kill one dirty rat. There we go.
And from here, we really could just.
Yeah, you
basic
can
that one.
use 2 basic attacks to kill.
Actually, though, my clock up just wore off, and we're getting into the stage where we're gonna have to fight the big guy.
Okay. Well, he's no bigger than the others.
Well, yeah, but there's a reason that he's taken so long to get over
You
here.
could move in on him, or you could just finish him with arts.
I might just start with arts.
I say no reason to even get close. You can just gun him down.
Yeah, he's still not
There you go.
All right, we're good to go.
I just didn't see the reason to waste
Ah,
EP.
we have a healing.
That's weird. There's a couple of boxes inside the treasure chest. The fact that there's not just one but two is kind of interesting, too. I wonder what's inside.
Remember, Estelle, our mission is to search and retrieve only. I'm pretty sure looking inside those boxes doesn't fall under our mission objective.
You're no fun at all, Joshua. This has nothing to do with our mission. It's like what I like to call good, honest curiosity. You know, we're the only ones down here. We can get away with a teensy-weensy peep, right?
If you feel like flunking today's test, then by all means, be my guest.
Did you just say the F word?
Fuck. Yep, opening one of those boxes could result in an automatic fail for the both of us. If this were a real job, the contents of those boxes would belong to the client. And as long as they weren't doing nothing illegal, we'd have no right to open them.
I know you're right, Joshua, but I just can't help myself.
If you absolutely have to know what's inside, why not ask Miss Sharon when we get back? But for now, we have to focus on getting out of here.
All alright.
By looking inside this chest again, you flunk! Just kidding.
So we've actually cleared out this area, so it should be an easy walk back. Let's stop the healing. And I think do you want to leave this episode here?
I was thinking we could just talk to Shara and finish it out.
Okay, sure.
Good work, you two. As a rule of training, I'm going to need to confirm the items in your possession. Yep, they're the real deal, alright. I don't see any evidence of tampering either.
That was a close one.
I figured she would try and set us up like that.
Congratulations to the both of you. You have successfully passed your qualification test.
You didn't really think something that simple would be a problem for us, did ya? So, Shira, what's inside those boxes you had us get?
That's for me to know and you to find out after your training is finished. That's enough chit-chat for now, so let's get back to work. You still have some things left to do.
Seriously? Didn't you just say that we passed the test?
You still have to learn about how to report the results of your work. I'm aware that you're both tired, but this is no time to shirk your duties. Let's get back to the guild.
When is this day gonna be over? Oh well, no sense in giving up when the finish line is in sight.
Agreed. It seems like we're within reaching distance of our goal. Got it.
Your final training is how to report to the guild. Whenever you finish a job, it is your duty to report the guilds of the results. Whenever you finish a job, it is your duty to report the results of your work to the guild. Reporting how you resolved the situation and the steps you took to get there are all part of your job as a bracer. You can report the results to the front desk in each guild branch. And as you already know by now, Aina is in charge here at the Rolent branch. In addition, this is why you will be paid for your work.
I look forward to seeing great things from the both of you.
Now that we're here, why don't you go ahead and report the results of today's training?
If you've passed your qualification exam, then there's one thing left to do. When you want to report that you finished a job, please select the report option.
Money, money, money.
Great job, you two. It seems like you were able to complete your objective without running into any major problems. Another thing to take note is that depending on how you handle a job, you may see an increase or decrease in the amount of pay you receive. When you report the results of your work to the guild, pay in the form of Mira isn't the only thing you will receive. You will also accumulate points which are known as BP, Bracer Points. BP are an indication of your achievements as a Bracer. When these points exceed a certain value, you will advance in rank as a Bracer and be awarded with a special piece of equipment by the guild. The ranks of a junior Bracer start at 9 and go all the way up to 1. Please set your sights on making first rank and work hard. The amount of Mira and BP you receive will also be recorded in your Bracer notebook, so please, have a look sometime later on.
All that's left to do now is finalize your training. Let's head back upstairs, shall we? I'll talk to you later, Aina, and I'm sorry about putting more work on your plate today than usual.
Don't worry about it. Training new Bracers is important for the future of the guild. I fully intend to work these two to the bone in any case.
To the bone?
And knowing Sharon will involve the whip.
Let me say it again. Good work, you two. You have now officially completed the entire training course. From now on, you will be learning about your own real-world experience. Well then,
Aren't those boxes the ones?
in answer to your question, yes, these are the boxes you received during today's test. You seem awfully curious to find out what's inside this, Della.
Are you saying it's okay if we open them?
That's right. Why don't the both of you have a look and see what's inside?
Sweet.
All right, let's have a look.
This crest is...
So does that mean that we're...
Ahem. Estelle Bright, Joshua Bright. Beginning this day at 1500 hours, you are both hereby appointed as junior bracers within the Bracer Guild. From here on, you will work as members of the Bracer Guild to support the livelihood of those around you, defend peace, and uphold justice. Congratulations, you two, and welcome in the fold.
Did you hear that, Joshua? We become members of the Bracer Guild.
So I'm a bracer now, huh? I think the realization is only now just beginning to sink in.
Come on, Joshua. You should be jumping for joy or running around and screaming at the top of your lungs like this. Look at us now, world! We did it!
happy until you made my eardrums bleed.
I hate to interrupt the celebrations, Estelle, but I need to take off now. I have some backed up work that needs my immediate attention.
We understand. You've been spending a lot of extra hours working with us during this busy time for the guild. Before you head out, Shara, I just wanted to say thanks.
Likewise, I appreciate all the trouble you've gone through for us, Shara.
Don't mention it. Training new recruits is one of Embracer's many duties. Believe it or not, I was once in your shoes a long time ago and your father Cassius trained me.
So that's how you have so much respect for my dad, huh?
There's actually much more to it than that, but I'll save that conversation for another day. As for the both of you, work hard to become full-fledged bracers early on, so you can help guide those new recruits who come after yourselves. And in time, I hope to see you both become respectable bracers like your father. Anyway, I'll leave you with that thought.
I just don't get it.
Get what?
This is Sherazard, aka the Silver Streak, one of the most skilled young bracers we're talking about. So why is it that she holds Dad in such high esteem? He just seems like nothing more than a no-good middle-aged man who's always out doing who knows what instead of being a father.
A no-good middle-aged man, huh? From your viewpoint, it doesn't come as a surprise that you would see him in that fashion.
Huh?
Never mind. Let's hurry and head home. We should let Dad know that we qualified as junior bracers.
Great.
And we'll leave you at that thought.
Have a good one, yo.